Welcome to Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis. Can you guys believe that out of the three of us, none of us is really using a major branded racket? Is that true? Would we have even thought of this 5 or 10, 15 years ago? Stay tuned. All right, so I'm going to start with Coach Kira because it's ladies first. When you first started tennis, what was your first racket?
I played with the Head Radical. It's my first racket.
Head Radical. Okay. Therefore, your family was probably a head family.
Yes, we were.
Okay. Now, you obviously knew Wilson and Babolat, right? Mm-hmm. Now, aside from Head, Babolat, Wilson, maybe Yonex, would you have even considered using anything else?
Probably not. I mean, I haven't even really, heard of all the other different brands either, so, and making tennis rackets.
Okay, all right. So you went from a Radical to a Pure Drive?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, then I switched to Babolat.
Yeah. And then if somebody would have said, hey, I got this no-name racket, but it's a good racket, would you even consider using it?
Back then, honestly, I probably would not have.
Exactly. That's my point. Now, Coach Jared, same questions. You started with a what racket?
If we're going way, way, way back
like
when?
Numero uno, the first racket.
You ever remember the Prince Beast and Shark series rackets?
Oh my God.
You know what I'm talking about here? I was the I was the Prince Shark, and my brothers were the Prince Beasts. So we had green and blue Prince sticks for any of you OG people out there that might know what that is.
Okay.
Very, very, very first racket ever.
We're talking 20 years ago is what it is. Okay. Yep. So Prince was a name brand back then too. After Prince, where did we go?
After Prince, went straight from that to the 03 Speedport, then to Babolat. I actually scratched that Wilson K-Factor. K-Factor.
Okay.
Yeah, the K61 95, using that as a 10-year-old kid. Not smart.
That's why your arm hurts nowadays.
Probably, yeah.
So you went Prince, Wilson, Babolat.
Correct.
Okay. Now, if somebody would have said, hey, I have this no-name brand, you want to try our racket? What would have you have thought and then said?
Heck no, no thank you.
Now, why would you say that?
Are we talking about me back in the day or me like current
Oh,
me?
Back in the day, for sure.
Because all of us 10-year-old kids and 12-year-old kids love mainstream brands and only go after shiny toys.
You are brainwashed.
Yes.
By all the marketing hype.
All you know is Wilson, Babolat, Head. Yep. That's it.
You're brainwashed by maybe Pete Sampras or Andre or
Fed,
Michael Chang, Fed,
Rafa, those guys
Rafa,
back in the day.
All those guys. It's all marketing, right?
Yep.
Okay. Now, let's fast forward to today, okay? Since you have the mic, what are you currently playing with now, Coach?
So I got the Dunlop SX 300 Tour.
Okay. Now, why the change? How did the mindset change?
So the biggest thing that came out of my racket switch and I guess racket journey was, especially at this day and age, was arm comfort. But at the same time, something I could play with that offered me enough playability where I could still kind of get the ball through the court without having to exert a lot of effort. And unfortunately, for my sake, as you guys have known, I've used a ton of rackets, and Harry has given me a ton of rackets to the point where I've almost exhausted every single option out there. But luckily, we had one contender that was left that was kind of a tweener-ish racket and still hit that 98 square inch kind of profile I was looking for, and that's how we ended up with the SX 300 Tour.
Right. Did you ever in your life think that Dunlop would have been in your bag or your home?
Back to my first answer, heck no.
Okay then.
Yep.
So things have changed. Okay. Now, going to Coach Kira. Now Kira is way out of left field here now. Coach Kira, tell the fans what you're using now.
I am now playing with the Diadem Axis 100.
Diadem Axis 100. Have you heard of Diadem before I gave you these demos?
Honestly, actually, Jared and I ended up buying some Diadem pickleball paddles prior to this.
What?
No idea they had rackets.
Wow.
So,
It was on sale.
yeah.
So we bought it.
So you just bought some random paddles just to play?
Yeah.
Didn't care what the name was.
Also, for those out there, we are not pickleball enthusiasts. We were just trying it for fun. That's why we bought discounted paddles, okay? Just had to put that out there.
Where did you buy those, Coach Jared?
Off Diadem's website because it's on sale.
No way.
Google discounted pickleball paddles and Diadem's website popped up.
Wow. Cheers for Diadem,
Yep.
right? Now, you went on an extensive racket journey too, and finally landed upon the Axis 100. Now, why the Axis 100?
Ooh. This was the most comfortable racket. Switching from the Babolat Pure Drive. I mean, I was having a really difficult time getting away from that racket and finding something that I felt was still comfortable and I could swing pretty closely, to the same and still generate a lot of power, have a little more control. Actually, I was looking for a little more control. So, and something to not hurt my arm. So that's basically what brought me to the Axis. Kind of had all those things I was looking for.
But we tried out everything under the sun, and then we landed on this one. And did you care that it was a Diadem? And
After trying all the different, brands and everything that we went through, I think I was more open to the idea of playing with something that wasn't Babolat Wilson head.
okay. What was the key point that said this racket could be it, even though it's not a top racket brand?
I think it just fits my style of play.
Okay.
That was biggest thing. So as long as I felt comfortable hitting with it, playing how I wanted to play, then that was gonna be the racket for me.
That's a very mature decision there, Kira. Okay. All right. Now, Coach Jared, back to Coach Jared. When was your point of I'm gonna be hitting with a Dunlop and I'm cool with that?
Well, I mean, like what you were saying, it's I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I went through the first of the popular rackets that everyone was using, and I think I've reached that point where I've tried so many rackets where it's like, I don't really necessarily care about the brand anymore. And at the same time, I think when you and I were talking about it, we've kind of reached that kind of golden age of rackets right now, where I feel like there's really no racket you can kind of go wrong with in today's game and age, or day and age too. And I think for me it was just I've used all the mainstream rackets, didn't really like any of them. And then I think that's when we started going for the guys that are a little bit smaller. At the same time, I think there's a lot of just people out there now that work for these companies that just either have worked for those big brands or kind of branched off to their own thing. And they're found out at Dunlop or just other companies that we've tried out in the day too. And I think that's why the technology and the rackets, I think, are kind of getting up there now. So yeah, I never would have imagined I would have been using a Dunlop racket or the Dunlop brand at all. And now here we are. It's just like, if I was doing a blind test and you just gave me a bunch of rackets, I feel like that'd be a fair assessment than just, having people look at what brand it is, trying it out, and having like a, predetermined kind of opinion about it. So
Right.
I think that's also kind of that'd be an interesting test to do with some people if they're just looking at blank rackets and not knowing what is what.
Yeah, black out everything and see
Exactly.
which one you like and see which one it really is at the end.
Exactly.
All right, now, Coach Jared, would you have ever thought that I would have been playing with a Solinco?
No. Guys, ever since I've known Harry, he's been using Wilson. It's always been Wilson. I think he started off with the Burn, the Clash. It's like all Wilson branded rackets, and then out of blue, Solinco came along, and they do make some pretty good rackets and sticks. And now you're using it. So
Yeah, I can't believe it myself.
it's crazy.
So
It's crazy.
especially a whiteout,
Yeah.
like
too.
the player stick,
Mhm.
right? Obviously, there's a little help in this now. The original version 1, there's no way I'm hitting that racket because there's no way I'm getting enough power from it. But version 2 definitely get a little bit of help. Solinco, it kind of, all right, 5 working days later, from directtennis.online. My 2-blade light 100s, 100 lights in a quarter. That was so easy. Plus, I got a discount by using my own code, TennisSpin. And I got free shipping. So if you want to get your tennis goods or whatever tennis needs you need, go to directtennis.online, enter TennisSpin, get a nice discount, courtesy of me, and free shipping. Kind of grew on me, if you know, when they first came out on the market with the strings. I'm like, no, I don't need any more strings. I don't need a new brand. You know, it's like it took people to come to me asking for the strings for me to start carrying it. So that's the one thing that Solinco did. They started with grassroots and building a brand, and they did it perfectly. I mean, it took them probably years to design this racket and make it as good as it is today. You know, Coach Jared and I, before this video, were talking about their first versions of what they were trying to do probably over 10 years ago, and they were all really bad, okay? So they obviously chucked that and said, let's do a redesign and let's do it better. And that's when whiteout and blackout finally came out, and they were good. They were good. Now this is great, right? And I'm sure the new Blackout V2 will be greater because they're thinking. Those guys.
Do I hear a switch, Harry? To potential
Oh.
V2 Blackout switch from away from the whiteout?
You know,
I'm
not a switcher, but usually. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see. You know, I'll wait until they give me some for my bag to keep first. I've been testing them out, but, you know, I don't know. We have some arguments right now about foam and no foam, and I like no foam. Everybody else in the world likes foam. What's wrong with you people? Anyways, yeah, but I can't believe it. You guys can't believe it. I can't believe you guys are using those.
Yep.
But obviously, you know, there's a lot of great companies out making great rackets. I mean, it kind of started with this Hazel racket, as I said in one of my videos years ago, is, you know, one of the best rackets you never heard of.
Yep.
It's a great player stick, Heysil, still a contender. I'm not good enough to play with this on a daily basis, but I know you guys remember that. That's the newer version of it.
This racket was great. Felt like a pro stock,
Yep.
in my opinion. It's customized
Exactly.
to your liking too, guys. If you want a different brand and get it customized, this is the one.
Yep. Well built, stiff, but flexible enough. And then we got Carve doing the 97 and the 100. That's a super good racket too. It's the 97 has a little more control. The 100 kind of suits most weekend warriors. You know, great design, nice black paint job that's gloss. You know, so that's what I'm saying. And then Nordicdots does their own in the 99 and the 100. It's kind of never ends right now. Everybody's just coming out with something good and trying to beat each other. You know, that's the 100. Here's the 99. Right? It's just getting ridiculous here in this racket market. And that comes in white too, both of those. So they both feel really good. I mean, if I was playing every day, like some of these player sticks, I would definitely use. If I was retired and playing 8 hours instead of working 8 hours, yeah, all over that. And then look, somebody actually thought of this thing.
That's
Zenith
crazy
1,
shaped.
an oversized player stick. I couldn't believe how well people hit with that thing. It's kind of like playing with an old school Prince graphite. Did we hit with this with you?
I don't know if I've ever hit this one, Harry. 'Cause
Oh, you
this is
should
a
hang on
wide
to that.
frying pan racket with a box
It's
beam. That's
Good
crazy.
control. Good control.
Wow.
Nice big sweet spot. You still have to swing though. So that's what like Chang, Agassi, not sure about Courier, but Wheaton used in the oversized version of the Prince. So this is what they're trying to do, is give that person an extra edge with a bigger head, but a control racket. So that's what they felt and we felt back in the day, like talking about late 80s, early 90s, bringing that back now. I've complained so much about that. I'm glad somebody's finally brought it back. You guys should take that and hit with it and let me know what you think.
Sounds good.
But guys, there are so many good rackets out nowadays. It changed our minds as to you don't need a great racket that's from a big brand anymore. It's these little guys are doing a great job. Any final words, guys?
No, I'm just got a lot of good rackets out there, guys. I'd say take advantage of this era of sticks. I mean, Harry and I have been in the tennis game Harry's been there for decades. I've been in there for almost a decade and a half, maybe. And I'm also a crazy person about the equipment. And I still think this is probably the best generations of rackets that we've seen from every single company, in my opinion.
Exactly. Kira, anything?
I mean, I'm just happy I found a racket, honestly.
Between the three of us, I feel like we've tried everything under the sun that's available. And we've settled upon a non-major brand each. So guys, get a testing because there's a lot of them. Coach Jared and Coach Kira, where can we find you guys?
You guys can find me on Instagram at ModTennis.
You can find our joint Instagram at KJ Tennis.
Guys, thank you for watching Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis.